Right now at noon, Joplin police are looking for the suspect who robbed a local gas station at gunpoint last night.
We are holding on to another day of more fall-like weather. We'll have more on that forecast coming up.
And it's time to cowboy up for this week's Interstate Fair and Rodeo.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us at KOAM News at Noon. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. In our top story, an armed robbery at Joplin gas station has police looking for the suspect. Last night at 11:58 p.m., the Joplin police received a 911 call for an armed robbery at Max Stop convenience store at 1302 South Schifferdecker Avenue. A black male wearing dark clothing, a face covering, and gloves entered the store and pointed a handgun at employees and demanded money. After robbing the store, the suspect fled to the scene with an undisclosed amount of money and was unable to be located by responding officers. No employees were harmed during the robbery. However, surveillance cameras show images of the suspect. If you have any information about this incident or the identity of the suspect, please contact the Joplin Police Department at 417-623-3131, and we'll keep you updated as new information becomes available. Missouri's Division of Cannabis Regulation announces a product recall. The DCR issues the recall for unfused product manufacturer Delta Extraction. The agency says the recalled products were not complementary tracked in the statewide track and trace system to allow the DCR to verify that the products came from marijuana grown in Missouri. No adverse reactions for this product have been reported at this time. And now let's take it over to Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we've had another just very fall-like day across the 4 states. It has been wonderful, pleasant outside. MoDOT camera 20th and range line. We've had some clouds out there, but not that much. And again, just an overall beautiful day. Now, yesterday, in addition to what we got Sunday night, we picked up 1.5 inches of additional rainfall yesterday morning at the Joplin Airport. So here's what's very, very helpful about this. We are now about 2 3/10 of an inch over our average for the month of August, which is helping us close this deficit, which was upwards of 12 to 13 inches low for the year. And remember, we're still expecting above normal precipitation as we head through the late summer and fall months across the area. So I believe this is going to continue. We might be able to catch up a bit and start to get some help. Yesterday started out at 67 rather, made it up to 82. So our lows not far off from where they're supposed to be, but our highs still 9 degrees cooler than where we usually are for this time of year. And that's pretty good news. Take a look at these temperatures now. 74 in Iola, 78 in Neodesha, Parsons, Independence, Sedan, Chatopa. Got 73 Pittsburgh, Fort Scott, 77 Miami, 73 Neosho, 72 Carthage, and 71 in Lamar. So we've got beautiful weather today and into tomorrow with those below average temperatures with us. And then the heat, unfortunately, is going to return by the end of this week. And we'll take a full look at that forecast here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Chickens and cattle and swine, oh my. Coffeyville is drawing in crowds this week for the Interstate Fair and Rodeo. The 116th Interstate Fair is in full swing this year with all kinds of livestock to see, carnival rides to ride, and some good old-fashioned rodeo to watch. It started off bright and early with a swine show and a PRCA rodeo slack. Being a kid taking care of these animals for a year is not for everyone, and it takes a lot of work. But we talked to one young lady who offered advice for future contestants.
It definitely takes a lot of determination and responsibility. You have to go out every morning and every night, feed them, brush them, walk them, take care of them. Taking care of them, that part is the easiest part for me. It's getting them controlled, able to walk. That's the hardest part.
The fair ends Saturday, August 19th with a Power Wheels Derby Demolition Derby. And Missouri high school football teams have been practicing for a week. Kansas schools began yesterday, and now it is officially football season because here at KOAM, we are releasing our 2023 Pigskin Preview. The 28th edition is now available. It's exclusively on our website at koamnewsnow.com/pigskin. If you're new to the area or haven't heard about the Pigskin Preview before, it has everything you need to know about 59 different high school football teams in the area, 2 junior colleges, and 2 universities. from starting rosters to team schedules. Also, record predictions and a whole lot more. You can scan the QR code on your screen right now and, well, it'll all take it to the website. This isn't just valuable in the preseason. We'll be updating the team pages with highlights as the season goes on, and family, friends, or fans heading to each game can use the pigskin to learn up on opponents each week. And that's a look at today's top stories and weather in the four-state region. Up next on KOAM News at Noon. Why Donald Trump's indictment in Georgia carries the most risk. We'll have the details. And later, we're making fast guacamole in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Former President Donald Trump is facing a new indictment, naming him and 18 allies in an alleged criminal conspiracy to overturn the 2020 election results in Georgia. As Christian Benavides reports, these are serious state charges for which there is no such thing as a presidential pardon.
I just want to find 11,780 votes.
That January 2021 phone call between outgoing President Donald Trump and Georgia's Secretary of State launched a 2.5-year investigation, culminating in a criminal indictment handed up last night.
The defendants engaged in a criminal racketeering enterprise to overturn Georgia's presidential election result.
The 41-count indictment names Trump and 18 of his allies, including Chief of Staff Mark Meadows and Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani. Trump himself is facing 13 felony counts, including violating Georgia's RICO Act, a racketeering law used to take down major crime organizations.
What you have is a mandatory minimum sentence for anyone who's convicted. It's a punishment of 5 to 20 years. So there's no walk away from this. There's no probation on this.
Trump has continually maintained his innocence, and in a statement, his legal team accused the DA of trying to force through and rush the indictment.
The Fulton County District Attorney has asked all 19 defendants, including the former president, to surrender here in the next 10 days.
Trump is currently the GOP frontrunner in a bid to get his old job back. Many of his Republican competitors are set to debate in Milwaukee next week.
For now, Trump allies tell CBS News he's leaning against showing up in Milwaukee and instead is focusing on rallying his own supporters as he faces down all of these indictments.
Those include the documents case at his Florida home, the January 6th case in Washington, D.C., and the New York hush money case, all amounting to more legal trouble than has ever faced a former U.S. president. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Atlanta.
Unlike the 3 other criminal cases against former president, cameras are expected to be allowed in the courtroom. In Kansas, fallen officer Jonah Oswald was remembered for the hero he was at his funeral this week.
An outpouring of people from all over the country coming together for one man, Officer Jonah Oswald.
Well, we wish we could wake up and all this was just a dream. We long for life the way it was. But then we realized that this is real. Life has changed. And we all gather here today because we love Jonah, because love shows up.
A fitting tribute for the kind of man who was always the first to show up for others.
When a call came out, he was always the first one out the door. His heart was so bright it radiated through his badge.
He wore his badge proudly, a duty he took seriously as he constantly put himself in harm's way. Fairway Police Chief J.P. Thurlow describes a moment he shared with Officer Oswald just a couple weeks ago after a felony pursuit. Oswald's car was rammed relentlessly as he safely closed the gap. The suspect was taken into custody and nobody was hurt.
And I said, Jonah, you did good. And then I turned around and started walking back to my office. And I could feel my cheeks from smiling big. But I didn't want to let him see it because I was so proud of him.
On the morning of August 6th, when he got the call no chief wants to get about one of his own, Thurlow found himself repeating those same words one final time.
I went into that hospital room with Hannah holding him as tight as she could. I reached across and held his hand. And I said, Jonah, you did good.
At just 29 years old, his service is complete. The ultimate sacrifice paid. His brothers in blue vowing to take it from here.
But come morning, strap our boots back on and get back in the fight.
Still to come on KOAM News at Noon, we see what's cooking with Mr. Food.
If you love the fresh taste of guacamole, we have a recipe that'll turn these into this in less than 5 minutes. Yup, it's fast, tasty. Ooh, it's so good.
But first, we've still got the fall-like weather for now, but temperatures will be heating back up. We'll take a full look at that forecast when we come back.
It's time to check in with Howard and the Mr. Food Kitchen staff. Today he's making a recipe that takes less than 5 minutes to make, and it's super easy. It's called fast guacamole. Take a look.
Here in the test kitchen, we're big fans of guacamole. It's the perfect dip for chips and makes our salads and nachos extra special. Spread it on toast, which happens to be pretty trendy right now, and it's a great way to jumpstart your day. And so you never have to worry about running out of it. We have a quick throw together version that's done in minutes. We start by cutting a couple of ripe Hass avocados, like this. We remove the pit and cut each one in half again. At this point, it's super simple to cut away the peel. Now, mash them with a fork until they're as smooth as you like. We add some finely chopped tomato and onion, a bit of garlic powder, and a little salt. And to give it zing, we add a squeeze of lime, which also prevents it from turning black. After mixing everything together, it's ready to go. And if you like your guacamole a little spicier, go ahead and add some chopped jalapeno peppers to it. There you have it, a from-scratch guacamole that takes less than 5 minutes to throw together from start to finish. Although you can serve this all sorts of ways, my favorite way is to dip a chip and enjoy. To get the recipe for what we call our fast guacamole, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard of the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a fast, fresh, and flavorful way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
To find this recipe along with many others, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com and click on Mr. Food. And now here's a look at the 4-state market.
All right, our fall-like weather continues today, mid to upper 70s for highs, low to mid 80s tomorrow, so a little warmer. And then after that, summertime returns with a vengeance. Temperatures soar back into the upper 90s, near 100 degrees as we head into the weekend. So enjoy this while we've got it, because it will not last.
Absolutely, we'll take full advantage.
You bet.
And Dow, what do you have for us this evening?
Well, authorities in Maui face more criticism about what could have been done to prevent such a large number of fatalities in last week's deadly wildfires, as the death toll climbs to at least 99 victims. Plus, we're going to check out the newest additions to Webb City's school district, including the eSports Center. And a new EV charging station in Neosho is the first installation of the Liberty's Empire Ready Charge program. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
All right. Thank you for joining us for KOAM News at Noon. Have a great rest of your day.